Welcome back to Little Stinkers, baby. I'm Mike Rainey. To my left is my co-host, Cal Donjala.
Hey,
Cal,
Mike.
good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, too.
Jacob Furman Matera. How are you? Motherfucking Furminator.
Damn.
I managed to forget that.
I hoped you had.
Hasta la pizza, baby.
It's going to be a shirt. That's going to be available in the merch store very soon.
Jake, at any point in your life, have you tried to scrub the name Furman from your history?
No, what I do now is I package it a little different. It's because my grandfather was Italian, and he came over.
Sorry to hear that.
They changed it. It was Fermani,
That's cool.
which sounds like a cologne or something.
Yeah.
And they just cut off the I at the end of it.
And Furman and now
Furman
sounds
was
like
born.
a fucking rat.
And like the
It's like
name,
a dog Armani.
Yeah.
Giorgio Fermani.
Yeah, that's
So you're trying to church it up?
trying to church it up a little bit, and then people are like, oh.
Oh, let me see your birth certificate. then.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see that driver's license.
Yeah.
Actually, let's see that driver's license.
It just says F on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's
Fuck you.
probably because the DMV guy was shaking from laughing while making the fucking thing. Motherfuckers are Furman! Damn. Cal and Jolly, you just got back from a trip, buddy. Welcome back.
Hell yeah. Didn't petito my wife either.
Where'd you go? Hedonism?
Hedonism in Mormon town.
You were soaking?
Dude, oh yeah, dude, we were doing the Provo soak. Didn't even realize it. The Moab soak. Dude, the closest I got to laundrying her was today at the airport when I watched her spend $30 on some fucking headphones to watch a movie on the plane.
I can't fault her for that.
Just to watch a movie on the plane. We didn't have any fucking there was no TVs in the seats. I knew that. I didn't tell her. I watched her.
Did she get internet for her phone then?
Yeah.
Oh, good for her.
But she already had the ones without.
But those don't do anything on the plane. You got all that noise. You need a little...
These do.
Yeah?
They're a better model than you're accustomed to.
Furman. Classic Furman, dude.
Fermani ass headphone wearing ass.
Damn, fucking Furman, dude. All right, Cal Donjala. I'm praying to God more than any other night that I've prayed to God. I even called in my fucking meeting with my prayer warriors to say, look, John can't win the coin toss tonight because we got a certified freak on our hands.
Yeah, you really want this one to happen?
You think Jake's a pervert? Wait till you get a load of this motherfucker, provided you lose the coin toss.
Before I toss this, just to get a little favor in my direction, found out HBO Go, every episode of The Jokers started from season 1.
Whoa.
I'm watching in order, boys. I'm watching in order.
I thought you were going to say Entourage, man.
No, I've watched that
I know
show
you have.
3 times this year.
I'm sure you've watched every fucking Impractical Jokers episode.
No, well, not in order. And a lot of times
Wow.
it's Inside Jokes edition, so that's just one long season of an amalgamation of all the episodes.
Jeez, man.
So it all seems like it came out in 2017. But you can tell by Q's hair that it's not 2017. You can tell. Love you, Q. Love you, Murr. Love you, Sal. And love you, Joe. Please. All right. We're going to toss the coin. What?
I was just going to say, you should start a new Q. For Q. Not QAnon, but for him.
What do we believe in?
Practical Jokers. You hate them.
We hate practical kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, impractical only. You know what? I like this. We got something cooking here. All right.
Lady Luck.
Oh, Lady Luck is right. I'm rubbing this sweet quarter. If I win the toss, we're going to do this podcast about one of the 4 impractical jokers, maybe 2 of them.
I'll tell you what, John. Lady Luck, it seems like she might be on your side tonight. Why don't you eat Lady Luck's pussy real quick?
What?
I'm telling you to lick the coin, dude.
Ew.
Do you want her to turn in your favor or what?
All right, and if you win, you fucking nasty pervert, you do another one of your gross true crime freaks. Here we go. Come on, it's a gross true crime freak again.
Should have licked that pussy.
Next week.
John,
I'll bring
I
my
don't want to
coin
make
finger.
you upset here, but last dad meet, Tim flipped the coin against Mike, and on the first try beat him.
No way.
What do I owe him?
I can't remember.
Probably a season 1 DVD of Impractical Jokers.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All right. Now, before I tell you who the subject of tonight's little stinker is, it's somebody that people have asked for. Numerous people have asked for. So I'm happy to provide this.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it was somebody that I was aware of, but I wasn't aware of the extent of his crimes. And this dude is so fucked up. I'm a fucked up dude, John. Would you agree
Yeah.
with that?
You have a nasty mind, yeah.
Thank you. This one disturbed me. There were numerous aspects of this where I had to shut shit down for the night,
Oh, my God.
fold up my book, go to bed.
Damn.
It was that fucked up. Now, before I tell you who it is, I got a little snack for you guys.
Oh.
You guys hungry?
No.
No. No, I didn't even finish the cake pop I bought at Starbucks on the way here.
Well, you could wash that down with a cake pop. Wash this down with a cake pop. All right,
God.
so I'm going to get you a snack. You want to take a bite? Come on, I spent time on making this.
Do I have to close my eyes again?
You do have to close your eyes. It's a surprise.
So much worse.
It's relative to our stinker tonight.
It's your stomach already turns upside down as soon as he says, "I have something for you to eat."
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
I'm going to tell you this.
Are you going to eat it?
No.
Why
I'll
not?
tell you what. If you really want me to, I'll take a bite.
Why wouldn't you eat it?
Because I like fucking with you guys. I'll take a bite if you really want me to. But I will tell you this. It's the combination of two separate delicious items. But I don't know how it's going to taste together.
So it's how your taste buds can compartmentalize with this whatever this is.
Do I have to eat it blindfolded? No, that was never a rule.
No, you don't have to be blindfolded. I'll just say this. Our subject tonight was really into eating his own dookie.
I swear to God. His own dookie, Mike. Not yours.
Others dookie too.
Yeah, I don't remember leaving no dookie here. So
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Take a bite for me.
of what?
Oh my God.
Of something, John.
Of fucking
One bite of something
of
is all you need
Snickers
to
with
do.
corn on it.
Come on, man. Listen, I'm going to give you yours first, and then I'll give Jake his. But, Jake, don't you dare open your
My
eyes
eyes
before
already
I've given you
closed.
your treat.
Why?
All right?
Why is it different order?
You better take such a healthy bite that it gets on your glasses.
I'm not
no.
biting it blindfolded.
John.
I'll bite it with my eyes open.
No.
Why? No. This is not Fear Factor. Bring it in. I'm looking at the thing.
All right.
I'm putting eyes on
All
it,
right,
Mike.
here we go. Jamie, can you bring in the snacks, please?
I'm terrified right now. I don't know.
Why would he tell us the first part?
I don't know. Yeah. He's like, hey.
Close your eyes.
So he likes to eat poop anyway. So good, bon appetit. It's. Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
All right, John
What are you
first.
laughing at?
I hear like.
Because this is a funny show.
Did I hear a bowl?
You heard a plate.
Okay.
Take a lick.
No.
Take a lick.
not doing it blind.
A lick. Take a lick.
John, take a bite.
Guessing it.
Please take a bite.
No, I can't. You're gross. You're fucking twisted.
Alright, Jake, can you lean in and take a bite, buddy?
Dude, please don't. Can I just do it by this? I'm terrified. All right, what am I doing?
Oh.
Dude,
Alright,
wait,
open up.
I really don't want you to put a spoon in my mouth.
Okay. Dave, you want to
What do you have juice bowls of? Other stuff?
His eyes open.
Oh my god.
You're never allowed back in my home again.
Oh my
I'll
God.
do this podcast through the window as long as I don't have to eat any more of this shit.
Mike.
All right, so here's a legit snack. This is peanut butter, and I have a glass of cider for each of you. So
This feels like another layer to the challenge.
Yeah, I don't like peanut butter, but the cider I will gladly have.
I love peanut butter, so this is a problem.
What kind of piss did you put in here?
I didn't fuck with either of those. It's just a nice treat, and it's all I had because we didn't go food shopping. So this is a nice palate cleanser for you, Jake. Because you didn't fucking have any.
This much pudding in the house?
No, I had to buy it extra today. John,
I'm sorry, I can't.
one bite.
No. Last time I took a bite, I almost barfed it up.
All right.
The cider's good.
Thank you, Jake. Have you tried your peanut butter, John?
I don't like peanut butter.
All right. So tonight's subject.
I'm sorry, Mike.
You know, peanut butter is like the worst thing for like audio podcasts. This is
Oh, man. All right. So tonight's subject is a gentleman by the name of Albert Fish, the Werewolf of Wysteria.
Where is that? Where is Wisteria?
Most of his crimes, well, the crimes that he was prosecuted for happened in New York, although he molested kids all throughout the United States.
Jesus Christ.
You got around, all right. Can't keep that fish on hand.
Now, coming into this episode, I knew very little about Albert Fish. I remember seeing a photo of an X-ray, and in the X-ray were all these needles inside of his abdomen. He was into something called peakwearism, which is an obsession with jamming needles into your body.
How's he getting them in there?
Dude, any way that he could.
Probably
He would
the
jam
belly button.
all kinds of different places. Well, dude, one of the places that was most popular for him to jam these needles in was through his dick,
Oh, stop.
his balls, and his gooch.
Now, by a needle, you mean like a threading?
Yeah, like a sewing needle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not like the
Hypodermic.
apparatus for...
No.
Yeah,
Like a sewing needle.
Okay.
Still, it almost would be better if there was something else besides just the sharp piece
Like
of
some
metal.
thread with it.
Yeah.
Eventually, he just
thread.
makes himself a sock inside there.
Dude, can you imagine just walking through a metal detector with all those needles?
So, dude, the photo that I was referring to was this X-ray picture that they took after they had arrested him, and he let it be known that he was into this shit. And he would often cry out in pain because these needles were fucking moving around inside of him. And after he was arrested, they eventually took an X-ray of this shit, and they found 29 needles inside of his body.
Oh, my God.
Dude, he was into so much fucked up shit.
I would have rather you stuck a needle up my penis than showed me that.
Well, unbuckle your pants, buddy. Jamie, bring in a needle, please. Dude, one of the other things that he was into, you talk about me being a certified freak, dude, this motherfucker was into everything. One of the things that he enjoyed doing was taking a rose and jamming it into his dick hole. And then he would pose for it in the mirror.
That's hilarious, but he's doing too much stuff to his pee hole.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Even more comes about, John. So he would jam a rose inside of his dick hole.
Are there pictures of that?
There are not.
There has to be,
unfortunately.
right? That's like the ultimate dick pic.
That's like...
I don't know.
What decade are we talking?
He was born in 1870.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So he was arrested in 1934.
Okay.
So, I mean, they had fucking pictures, but I don't know if it was a common thing for people to have their own shit to take pictures of themselves.
he would have had
shoving
to
roses into their dick
Book a
holes.
photographer for that, you know?
But, dude, after he... pardon me. After he would shove the rose into his dick hole, he would eat it.
Eat the rose?
Yes.
Like there's
far do you-
thorns.
Jake, when you're jamming fucking needles into your gooch, I doubt that you're concerned about thorns.
Dude.
How
John-
far in is he sticking it?
The rose?
Yeah.
Knowing what kind of guy he was, probably all the way to the bud.
God, stop. I can't do it.
It is making me feel
I
so
can't do it.
bad.
Dude, he was in, like, there was a guy that was the psychiatrist that, I guess, took charge of this fucking, basically spent the most time with him and did the assessments on him when he was arrested, was this guy named Dr. Wortham. and he described them as abnormalities. And amongst the abnormalities were the peakwism that I mentioned, sadism, masochism, flagellation, castration, cunnilingus, analingus, voyeurism, fucking pedophilia, homosexuality, fellatio, coprophagio, undonism, which is an obsession with piss. You like that one, you dirtball?
I do. Thanks for explaining it.
Thank you, man. And then fetishism. So there were 15 things that this doctor identified that he described as abnormalities. So old Fish was into all that shit. So
Wait, Fish is giving head or getting head?
Both.
Okay.
Dude, that's the wild thing about all this shit was, as much as he liked inflicting this shit on people, he also liked having it done to him.
Yeah.
So he was as big of a masochist as he was a sadist.
Yeah.
He's an old ass freak too.
Yeah.
Whenever you describe these guys, I just imagine like a monster in my head, like something that you would see like under a bed or like out of a closet. And then when you put up the graphics with these videos, like they look like just normal people, and that's the most chilling part.
Yeah, I
This
feel like I
guy-
know what this guy looks like.
What would your guess be as to what he looks like?
I feel like he looks like kind of like the spaghetti monster from True Detective season 1.
He's a guy that's 5'6" and 130. So he's a little ass motherfucker.
Okay.
And Albert Fish, he just looks like a feeble old man. He presents as older than he actually is, though.
Mm-hmm.
And there's two instances which really speak to like how spry he was. When he died, it was fucking 1936, so he was 66 when he died. Like, he wasn't very old. But when you look at pictures of him, he looks like he's like fucking 90.
Wow.
So there were two separate instances which point to like how spry he was. So there was an instance where like a girl was walking through this woods where he used to hang out, and she saw him naked, crouched down, eating some kind of meat like an animal. And she was just trying to walk past him, and he noticed her, and he jumped up and he fucking chased her through the woods. And she says she couldn't believe that this guy could move this fucking fast, looking as old as he did. And eventually, he gave up. He didn't chase her any further, and she got away.
Jesus Christ.
So going back to him as a fucking kid, Albert Fish, that wasn't his given name as a child. He was born Hamilton Fish.
Fish seems like the fake part.
Damn, the old Wysteria switcheroo you hit me with.
He was born Big Billy Bassmouth. Actually, Big William Bassmouth. Take me to your daughter. Put me in your daughter. Yeah, this fucking dirtball, man. So he was born Hamilton Fish. Now, ironically, there was a distant relative also named Hamilton Fish, and this guy was the assistant treasurer of the United States at some point. And he was the father of a congressman. And on a crazy note, that Hamilton Fish died one day before this Hamilton, later Albert Fish.
Whoa.
Oh, and died and then died.
Yes.
Not dead, died before he was born.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, a day apart.
Wow.
And there's actually the newspaper headline, which is announcing each of them. They have the two headlines that close together. One's describing the former assistant treasurer, and one is describing fucking nasty ass Albert the pervert.
Bert Fish getting put down, I assume.
Yes, he was sent to the electric chair.
Yeah.
So he was one of 1, 2, 3. All right, so there were 4 kids in the family besides Albert. There was Walter fucking
Fish,
Annie Fish, Edwin Fish, and a dead baby brother named Albert.
Okay.
So
did he take his name?
He took the dead baby brother's name.
Some Dick Whitman. Don,
Yes.
yeah.
Again, yeah. It's so funny how many of these similarities pop up throughout these episodes.
You can't steal names anymore. That's just something you can't really do.
And that's one good thing about you being named Furman, Jake, is nobody's
So-
fucking taking that, dude.
Damn it.
Nobody's going to be looking at your obituary and be like, damn.
That's a name.
You're looking at Furman, motherfucker. And one thing that's of note is that his dad was Randall and his mom was Ellen. Randall was 43 years older than Ellen.
Jesus Christ.
Old ass motherfucker.
43.
He was 43 years older.
Wow.
Well, I hope he wasn't 53 years old. How old was he?
How old was who? The dad?
Yeah, like
I think the dad
What
was.
is acceptable?
I believe the dad
63?
was 73 when he had
she was 33.
Albert. Actually, might have been 60, somewhere in that
So
fucking
she was
old ass
30.
range.
Right? Is that what that?
I believe he was 66. All right,
All
we'll
right.
go with that.
Okay.
And the dad was 43 years older. And there's a history of mental illness throughout the family. There's all kinds of fucking wild shit. There's all kinds of hallucinations. There's schizophrenia. 2 relatives died in fucking, what do they call them, sanitariums?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So people are all fucked up in this family. The dad dies. He's a riverboat captain, and he has a heart attack. So he leaves the mom with all these kids, and the mom can't care for them. So when the dad dies of a heart attack in 1875, the mom sends Albert to St. John's Orphanage. And this is just like any other orphanage that we've talked about, like from around this time. It's super fucked up. Teachers are fucking up kids. They're emasculating them. They're stripping them. They're beating them. They're whipping them. And one of the more fucked up aspects of all this is when they're abusing these kids, they're making the other kids watch these beatings happen.
Oh man.
Fuck.
So at this time, too, so in 1875, he's 5 when he goes there.
Wow.
So he's there. He's wet in the bed a lot. At some point, he falls out of a cherry tree, too, and he fucks his head up pretty bad. And he ends up getting, he calls them dizzy spells, nausea, and fucking, what's the other word I'm looking for? Not impetigo.
Wait, what's that one?
Yeah. What?
I think
It's
I
like
got
some
that.
kind of skin disease.
I got that with a side with my steak last night.
How was it?
Medium.
But anything that could fuck up your head that's related to having a fucked up head, he's got as a child from falling out of this cherry tree.
Okay.
So yet another similarity with so
Yeah.
many others.
Yeah. Always so funny when I don't know if it's prominent in your research or if you just pick it up, but the bedwetting thing for these children is like piss in the bed a lot. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, that's not that bad.
Yeah, when
6
you're like
years old
5,
as
it's
an
not that bad.
orphanage. Yeah.
But I think it continues till he's about 11, which is pretty
Okay.
bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's typical of kids that are getting fucked up and they're watching other kids fucked up.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you don't want to fucking get out of bed in the middle of the night in an orphanage and go piss.
No.
I'm just gonna piss myself.
That poor kid below is going to receive a
He's got his
storm.
mouth open.
I feel like we need to create stinker bingo cards at this point.
Ooh,
With
that would be
all,
fun.
Yeah.
all the similarities. Whew.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So St. John's is fucked up. 1, for the abusers, and 2, because the kids have to watch all this shit. Now, at the age of 7, he's 5 when he goes there. When Albert Fish is 7 years old, he describes all this shit after he's arrested. Like, he goes into detail into so many different fucked up aspects of his life. And in addition to him giving all these firsthand accounts, people that are testifying either on his behalf or against him also give more context to all the shit that he either endured or put other people through. So there's a ton of information about his life available. One fucked up thing that occurred at this fucking St. John's orphanage was that at one point when he's 7, he's watching other kids get fucked up and he starts getting erections from it.
What?
Then they're whipping his ass just for getting hard watching other kids get fucked up.
Damn.
How do they know? Like, is he just like...
They're all stripped.
Oh, they're stripped.
They stripped them naked before they beat them, and then fucking Bert the pervert standing there rock hard at 7 years old. Just shredding through his fucking Captain America underwear. And there was something else very fucked up that happened that he describes being enamored with. He said at one day at this orphanage, he was watching a few of the older boys corral a horse. They tied it to a fence, and then they set this horse's fucking tail on fire.
Jesus.
Oh my
fucking
God.
Christ.
And then the horse eventually got loose trying to put its own fire out. But he said he just loved watching this horse run around on fire.
I mean, yeah.
Kings of Leon wrote a song about it.
Did they?
Your horse is on fire.
I walked right into that.
I mean, that would be a sight to see.
Yeah, I would watch it too. Like, I would be pretty excited.
I
by
personally
that.
don't like horses. I think we should nuke them all. So seeing just one flaming around would be fucking great, actually.
Flame broiled.
He's just naked. He's the only one naked with a boner, watching this horse on fire. Everybody else has clothes on.
They're in firefighter gear.
He wrote Wild Horses, watching it burn and jerking up. I know I've dreamed you.
Perv bird fish.
So he's getting boner from they doused the fucking horse in kerosene and they set his ass on fire, and he's loving it. So 1879, his mom gets a decent government job and is able to provide for him, so she comes to get him. He goes back home, and at this point he's 9 years old.
Wait, where are they?
This is in New York.
What part?
Actually, he was born in D.C. I think St. John's is in New York.
Okay.
So I should know this, but I'm sorry I don't. All right, so it's either fucking D.C. or New York. We're going with it, man.
It's in the Northeast megalopolis.
Yeah, we're going with that,
The
man.
Atlantic. Yeah.
So the mom gets a decent job, and he gets out, and he's so fucked up at this point. I mean, he's 9 years old, and he's already been through all this shit. He's already done all this fucking up shit.
Motherfucker can't come unless you see a horse on fire.
Do me a favor, baby. You might set that horse on fire. How many horses we can watch?
Completely ruined for all future relationships already.
In 1882, he meets a telegraph boy. So he's 12 now. His telegraph boy is about the same age. The telegraph boy introduces him to eating your own piss and shit.
What?
Yeah, where'd that kid live?
The telegraph.
Dude, he handed him a telegraph that said, "It's delicious."
Introduced him
Oh my
to.
God.
What's the weirdest thing someone's introduced either of you to?
Apple pie with cheddar cheese on
Yeah.
it.
Corn
Yeah, that's a. I knew immediately that was corn. and
corn
that was-
pudding.
God, you haven't even touched this yet. Take a bite.
Wait, you
dude.
didn't have a
He
bite?
didn't even fucking lick it.
You asshole!
Did you get corn in your mouth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he put a spoon in my
Take a bite,
mouth.
buddy. You got your own spoon there too. There we go. You're a good sport.
Get
It's
a
pudding
couple,
with corn.
get a couple of kernels in there.
He told me what it was again. He said, "There you go. You're a good sport. It's pudding with corn."
Not so bad, is it?
It sure is pudding with corn. No. Get out of here before I throw it through your fucking window.
We gotta get the recipe up on the website.
I would love if like my neighbor's out there taking his trash out and playing a fucking pudding with corn through the fucking window and hits him.
Mike's cooking again.
And he handed me a
Make a retard stew. I just say "bam" the entire time I'm making retard stew, and it's 2 ingredients.
Ooh, yeah.
You just hand him a telegram. It just says it's delicious.
1882, he meets a telegraph boy, introduces him to eating piss and shit. They're loving it. And then he gets into visiting bathhouses, and he gets really into voyeurism.
They're exclusively eating their own make.
No, it's mostly store-bought.
Are they swapping? Are they saying, "Hey, you want to try some of mine"?
Yeah, it's a
They are?
potluck. They're tasting a little bit of everything. You want some more of yours? Why don't you guys switch plates now that John brought that up?
No more retard stew for me, thank you.
Alrighty. In 1885, Albert Fish graduates from school. Around this time, he also lets his parents know that he does not want to be known as Hamilton Fish anymore. Why do you think he doesn't want to be known as Hamilton?
Because everybody knows Hamilton Fish is the kid that's outside with a boner eating his own shit.
Watching fired up horses. He hates the name Hamilton because kids at school have teased him and called him ham and eggs.
Dude.
Jesus Christ.
Imagine like eating other people and your own shit and just being, you know, this is where I draw the line. I refuse to be known by these delicious foods.
Ham and eggs. That's like an affectionate name.
Why couldn't you
I
have
think
made
it
us
is.
ham and
Yeah.
eggs?
I honestly don't think the name ham and eggs is that bad.
No.
No,
Try
I don't
Furman.
either. Yeah. You must have gotten fucking knocked out with some Furman.
Were kids aware that your name was Furman?
No, I kept it silent.
For real?
Oh yeah.
Did you pay off your teachers to not ever let it slip?
They would every day when they would do the attendance out that first day when they're like, if you have any nicknames, I'm like, it's Jake. Let's just talk. It's just Jake. Yeah. So.
Dude, I'm going to hit up every one of your classmates on Facebook today. Just so you know, Jake's middle name was Furman.
I'm going to buy a fucking page in the paper. A Sunday.
Here's Furman. Oh, boy. So in 1887, he becomes a painter. In addition to becoming a painter, he's also a sex worker now.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's getting into hoeing, man.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's got to be D.C.
Mm-hmm.
The orphanage was DC. Just
Okay.
yeah.
You looked that
Cool.
up?
I looked
Okay.
it up real quick.
And he ends up moving around a lot too once he becomes a painter because it takes him to a lot of different states. And when he would visit these states, at this point now, even though he's 17, he's into much younger kids. So he would travel around to all these different states. And one thing to note in regards to the painting aspect was when he would wear painting overalls, he wouldn't wear anything underneath.
That rules.
All right, man. We're about, what are we, about a half hour in, and John loves him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
well, he's 17, hanging out with, 12-year-old boys. Pretty weird.
Yeah.
But it's not even 1900 yet. Do people know that that's weird
At least
yet?
he's wearing overalls, not like just like a smock.
Yeah.
Remember?
Finally, he
Yeah.
covered up his... He could just be wearing a fucking loincloth.
And you know what? At the risk of sounding like a creep, I think when you're sharing handfuls of shit with someone, age really doesn't matter. This is consensual or non-consensual shit sharing. I don't think it really matters at this point.
Yeah, I suppose not.
In 1903, he starts getting arrested a bunch. Grand larceny, petty theft. Then also, he has something in common with our buddy Todd MacArthur. Remember
Old
nasty ass Todd that was having people put their
Bruce
butts on the phone?
MacArthur.
Bruce MacArthur's son, Todd, that was making the
Yeah.
dirty phone calls.
Yes.
Well, Albert Fish likes writing dirty letters.
Oh man.
And sending them to anybody?
Just
Like,
randomly. Well, he was. This made me think of Nanny Dots because he would check out the Lonely Hearts column, and he would say, it would be like, all right, widow looking for companionship, blah 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 blah, and he would hit him up, and he'd say, I might be your man. I like shitting on your chest. I like watching horses burn to death. I like jamming needles into my gooch.
So he's answering Craigslist ads.
Yeah, well, he sees the addresses, and he just writes the nastiest shit that he could possibly
Yeah.
write. But it ends up getting him into some trouble.
Oh, see, I thought you thought he was going like the rom-com way, where he's like, I know I'm not the smartest guy. I know I shit and eat it. Yes, I stab my dick repeatedly, but I'm loyal. You're just like, oh man, kind of like the guy now.
So he was, a lot like Todd MacArthur, who was asking ladies to put their butts on the phone. In these letters, he was asking ladies to put their butt on the paper and mail it back. He would include a stamp. It was very nice
Could
of
you
him.
imagine if Todd MacArthur had FaceTime? It would have blew his mind.
he becomes obsessed with the biblical story of Abraham and Isaac. You know, where God's telling Abraham, he's like, look, I need you to fucking kill your son for me, to show your allegiance to me. And then at the last second, as Abraham's about to stab Isaac, he sees a ram come along. And he's like, oh. God's like, no, you can just stab that instead. We establish what we need to establish here. Your allegiance to me. So in his mind, he starts having this, I think they call it religious mania, which is a lot like Hulkamania. Instead of training, say your prayers and eat your vitamins, it's a lot of say your prayers, and say your prayers. So he's getting into religious mania, and he also he becomes obsessed with John the Apostle. He starts saying when people ask him why he's doing wild shit, he'll say, oh, John the Apostle told me to do it. There's an instance where when he later has children, one of his kids is coming down to get a glass of water for her younger brother, walks into the kitchen, and Albert Fish has rolled himself up into a carpet. And she said only his face was visible from the nose up. She's like, Dad, what are you doing? He said, John the Apostle told me to do this. She's like, whatever, dude, I'm going to bed. She gets her glass of water for the little brother, goes up to bed. The next morning she wakes up.
Pour me some water too.
If we don't have any glasses clean, just piss in my mouth. The next morning, that kid comes downstairs, and he's just unfurling himself from the fucking carpet. So he stayed in there all fucking night.
Oh, my God.
All right. So he becomes obsessed with the story of Abraham and Isaac. He also becomes obsessed with castration. And he says he feels as though God is telling him to castrate people.
Oh.
People.
Okay.
So, okay.
Yeah.
And he
Start with some other people first.
Yeah.
He gets really into the idea of castration when one of his Johns takes him to a museum, and it's a medical museum, and there's this model of this bisected penis, and he's just like, "What? You could do that to dicks?" And he just falls.
You can't.
You shouldn't, but you can, Jake. So he falls in love with the idea of castrating somebody.
Whoa, wait a second. What's bisected mean?
Like cut in half?
Like a hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Lengthwise, though.
You meant it the other way?
Well, it's not this way.
That's
They just open it like a wrap.
chopped. That's chopped off.
No. If you go around and then flip it up,
Ooh.
then you can put another dick inside of it, jerk both guys off at the same time. It's called a single dingle.
I was just about to say it's called a quesadilla. In 1898, he gets married to a lady named Anna Mary Hoffman, and she's 19. They end up having 6 kids together. During the course of their relationship, he's still having extramarital affairs with men. And I think he might even be prostituting himself at the same time, too. And in 1910, he's traveling as a painter. He makes his way down to Wilmington, Delaware.
Whoa.
Yep.
No way.
Yep. He mentioned your neighborhood, which excited me. And he actually mentioned, I don't know if this is true or not, but he was at least aware that the place existed, my hometown of Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. He wrote a letter, which wasn't too obscene, to a lady asking her to come beat his kids' asses. And he said, I'm going to read some of them in a little bit. But he says that like 2 of his kids were currently in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, and they might need their asses beat.
Oh, that's incredible.
Fuck, that's so funny.
But dude, when he's in Wilmington, Delaware in 1910, he hooks up with this intellectually disabled guy named Thomas Kedden. I don't know how consensual this can be. I guess it all depends on how disabled this guy was. But he would prey upon people that had any kind of disabilities, and also he would prey upon people that were black because he felt as though cops would spend less time looking for these people. So he got into cahoots with this guy named Thomas Kedden, and they would beat each other's asses. Like, literally beat each other's asses. One thing that he was into that I have to note as well, because it struck me as very funny, was that Albert Fish was very into painting his ass red and gold.
His own ass? Or
His own ass.
Okay.
So he's hooking up with this guy named Thomas Kedden, and they fuck each other up, dude. And they're also eating each other's shit and drinking each other's piss, too. So, again, I don't know if he's so disabled that he has no idea what's going on, or he actually is able to consent to this. But being that he's disabled at all, I'm going to say...
He's probably taking advantage of the situation a little bit. Yeah.
Did that guy change his name as well? Was he originally like a Del Calo or?
Yes, it was John's great grandfather that was eating turds and getting his ass beat.
This is actually a 23andMe reveal, John.
If you guys don't get this out of here, I'm going to have to eat both plates. That's what I've been so mad about. I just want to slurp it up.
Dude, he meets Thomas Kedden, and he quickly realizes that he's letting him get away with anything that he wants to get away with. So he's like, all right, I'm going to test the limits of my perversion.
I'm going to see if I can stick needles up his piss hole.
Oh,
Dude.
Jesus.
He doesn't stick needles up his piss hole, does he?
Wait till you hear this, dude.
Oh, God.
No.
So for 10 days, he keeps Thomas Kedden in his room, and it's just whipping his ass, making him eat his own shit. He does this thing where he'll bring him a sandwich, and this guy's been starving, hasn't had anything to drink other than fucking piss. He'll bring him food, but he'll say, you can't have this until you eat this amount of shit.
What do you mean this amount? Like he brings up, or he says like you have to produce this much shit and then also eat it.
Dude, by his estimation, and he came up with this number after he was arrested when he was describing the Kedden murder. He eventually murders this guy. By his estimation, they both, they both ate 10 pounds of shit and gallons of piss, which he referred to as peanut butter and cider.
Are you
real?
serious?
Yeah. So that's why I surprised you guys with peanut butter and cider.
Even your real treat turned out to be a fucking ruse. A sick, twisted ruse again.
You know, stinker.
You is.
Thank you, buddy. But, dude, he kept him in his room for 10 days.
And in that 10 days, you're saying the 10 pounds of shit and piss was drank?
Yes. It's a lot of shit, man.
How can you shit that much if you're being starved?
Yeah.
Well,
It's gotta be liquid, right?
if you know that you're going to throw down.
You had Taco Bell up the night before.
Now, it might have been an equal distribution of turds initially, but being as though he's being starved, Albert Fish probably had to pick up the slack on the turd end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Walk around the neighborhood behind some dogs.
Somebody's going to pick it up. I'll get that.
From the Homeowners Association. I got it. Take care of it.
Yeah. Have a blessed day.
After the 10 days is up, the wheels start turning even more. And I mentioned that he's very into castration. He makes up his mind to castrate Thomas Kedden.
Stop.
And that's like cutting the balls out, right?
That's like, I think, cutting all of it off.
Is that what it is?
What he ends up doing is he ends up taking him to this abandoned barn that he knows of. And being that he's a painter, he's aware of all these weird, fucked up places that aren't inhabited. He takes Thomas Kedden to this local barn in Wilmington, ties him up. While he's tied up, he fucking cuts from his fucking tailbone to his nuts, and he puts his mouth up to it to drink the blood.
Stop.
Jake, you just ate a plate of fucking turds and corn, so cool it, dude.
Albert Fish drinks the blood?
Albert Fish drinks the ass blood of this guy, Thomas Kedden.
Oh, my God, dude. This is
unnerving.
fucking next level.
This is the worst one.
And then, dude, then he starts shoving needles into his asshole. And this isn't just a day. This goes on for 5 weeks.
Oh, my God.
He's got him captive in this barn for 5 weeks.
How does he keep him alive for 5 weeks?
He knows he has to feed him and hydrate him a certain amount. And the blood loss wasn't bad enough as to where he died. He kept him alive during this entire 5 weeks. During this time, dude, he would also do this too. He would douse his ass in kerosene and set it on fire.
That is
It's fucked up, man.
crazy, dude.
Finally, at the end of the 5 weeks, he makes up his mind to cut the tip of his dick off.
Jesus Christ.
So he cuts Thomas Kedden's dick tip off, and he says he'll never forget the horror. What's the word I'm looking for? Whatever it is, horror. I don't know. The horrific. That's the word I was looking for. He said he'll never forget the horrific sound and the horrific face he made when he cut the tip of his dick off. At that point, I shouldn't say he killed him because he said he didn't know what happened to him. After he cut his dick off, he doused what was left of his dick in peroxide.
Oh my God.
And then he put a rag with Vaseline over what was left of it.
Dude.
And before he left him, he gave him a kiss on the mouth, and he left $10 for him.
That's nice.
And then he just left. So Albert Fish says he doesn't know whether he lived or died.
I don't know what happened to Watson. I gave him $10, so.
Was he chained up? Or was he free to?
He was.
Free to
He
roam.
was chained up, but I don't know if he untied him when he left him.
Yeah.
I mean, $10 back then. I mean,
That's a lot of money. You got half a dick, but you got $100 richer. You're going to bet on the ponies, flaming ponies.
Man, that is that's just the first murder.
Well, we don't even know that it was a murder because, like, he doesn't know what happened to him.
We keep saying this. Is there any record of that guy being alive after that?
Dude, nobody knows because he was right on the money. Like, people really did not account for these people.
wow.
There were so many people that he was just like, look, I've molested hundreds throughout my time traveling
a
in the United States.
fucking naked, half-dicked, burnt-ass, fucking starving guy walk through town later that day? Was there a guy whose gooch was sliced open trying to thumb it down the highway?
Where you going, pal? The closest dick hospital.
Or ass burn hospital. Whichever one you get to first.
Oh, man. All right. We got a lot more to get to, but I think that's a good point to end part one of Albert Fish.
Oh my God.
Shit's going to start heating up.
Oh boy, I don't like the way you said that.
Little burnt ass pun for you.
He's going to light more people's asses on fire.
Dog, he gets buck wild. You thought that was bad?
Oh.
There's so much more
I
fucked up
did.
shit. Like, enslaving a guy and cutting off his dick might be on the... It's like the Coors Light
Come on.
of what we're getting into.
Dude.
Well, I'm going to have more of that corn pudding to get me through this next episode.
I'm excited to hear the excerpts from the letters. That's what I'm...
They're fucked up, man.
Dude, I mean, a lot of people wrote goofy letters in that time. Remember, James Joyce has a bunch of letters.
I didn't know that.
Oh, man, you got to Google that. His love letters. He was talking about how all he wanted to do was hear this woman fart all the time. I'm not even kidding. It's he's like, oh, I can't wait to just smell your farts. And
Was that the
listen to you
inspiration
fart.
for Leaves of Ass? Is that Walt Whitman?
Yeah.
God damn it, man.
It's the same time period.
Yeah,
It
it
works.
doesn't matter. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to see what old Fish has swimming around in his head.
You don't want to know, buddy. All right, so we're going to head over to the Patreon now. If you're not a patron already, you can go to patreon.com/lilstinkers. That's LILSTINKERS. Every part 2 of this episode is on Patreon, and also you get early access to everything. We always put parts 1 and parts 2 of every episode up on the Patreon before anybody else has access to anything else. And then also in a couple weeks, we're going to be doing our first Ask Us Anything for an hour. So whatever you want to talk about, anything you want to suggest, any fucking points you want to make in regards to shit we've already done so far, you can hit us up on there. We'll announce that date. Probably next week we'll announce it. And then, yeah, this month, November, we're going to add an extra episode just for patrons. A full episode just for patrons. So you get a lot for your money here. And, yeah, join us over there. Come have fun with us. And I promise you there's plenty more fucked up shit that we're going to into. And John's going to finish his pudding.
Yep, and Jake's. And the peanut butter and what's it called? Shit and piss. I'm gonna drink that too.
All right, guys, go grab yourselves a bowl of pudding and corn, and then come meet us over on the Patreon. See you guys there.
See ya.